Hello everyone, my name is Jesse. This is the Auditorium, where I react to video game music. As a musician myself, today is the return of Final Fantasy XIV. The song is called Rise, or Alexander Prime theme. Apparently this is a part of a huge set of Alexander songs, whatever that means. I think I've done most of them, if not all of them. Actually, no, I think I have one left called Mobius or something, which I have requested at a later time. Anyways, this is requested by Rolfenome, Snoopjack, Tavish, Shadek Fusionata, and Ivan, and pretty much the entire community in my comments. This has been requested for over a year. But it's a 3-for-1 video. So we're going to be listening to the original, the Primals version, which is here, and then the Pulse remix version, which I haven't done Pulse in a long time. I think I've only done it once before. Either way, Rise. Let's get into it. Soken and Koji Fox. So it's gonna be vocals. Oh wait, Alexander, that's a summon, isn't it? A to the L to the EX-ander. Gavi's gonna rise up, boom like thunder. The background's awesome. The gears and everything. Shout out to Hungry Chad for that video. Okay. Primals, which I'm guessing that song sounds like it can absolutely fit in with like a Primals live set. It's probably going to sound almost identical, but this is the Primals version. I haven't heard them in a while. Oh, I'm sorry, I had the volume way up. I gotta turn down the next one too. I'm guessing that's Koji live as well. Man, this video is so extra. A lot more energy, more bass. I see the theme of gears and everything. It's kind of growing on me. Slowly, very slowly, but mainly this part, the chorus. I actually like the chorus, but I'll hold off on my thoughts for now. That's the loop, I think. The Primals are a very powerful entity. Speaking of which, I feel like all those are you guys watching right now. Just everyone, they're just like, ah! Okay, this is new. I do like that they incorporate like a live environment to the Primal stuff. That adds a little bit of flair. Yeah, that's a damn good chorus. There's a reason they call choruses a hook, because it. The video is cool as hell. Sonic Boom. I wonder why that's a lyric. Does Alexander have like a sound breaking? I don't know. Anyways, the Pulse remix. I'm guessing this one's going to be actually quite different than those two. From what I remember, Pulse is, I guess, on the more EDM, or actually no, I think it's just experimental remixes. I don't remember. Anyways, Pulse remix, Rise. It's very different.
Sonic boom, rings out from the engine. Fact that we're gonna eliminate the distance. Ain't no ladder's gonna
Sounds like an entirely different singer. Nice, I like that. All of a sudden we're in a European Hard House Festival. Glow sticks everywhere. I don't remember, are Pulse Remix in the game? Or is this like a separately bought album? Like, can you toggle them on? These are cool though. Very experimental. Oh my god, it reminded me of a song that was really popular in the 2010s. You guys remember Fly Like a G6? Uh-oh. There's that build-up. Yep. That's a really good synth sound. It's really full. There's a lot of layers here. It sounds huge. Okay. Well, this is going to be one of those instances where I'm kind of glad that I checked out multiple versions of it. Because, honestly, just being honest, the original, this first one, didn't really do anything for me. It was, how do I say this? It was very generic, and it was kind of being carried by this cool vocal swing, a little ta 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 ta, with the, you know, distorted vocal effect. And then of course the chorus, which was pretty great. And I don't mean carried in like a super negative way. It's just the rest of the song was just, you know, compared to like, especially the other stuff from this exact same series of Alexander, like those were all like almost like iconic. So by comparison, it just kind of fell short, I guess. So my original first taking it in was kind of on the fence. It didn't really, there's one thing that kept coming to mind over and over, and that was, well, one, let me get this out of the way. It was different because of that whole like industrial kind of rap sound with that swing, which is hard to do. And I haven't heard that, apparently. I don't think I have in 14, which goes to, you know, what I've been saying earlier, is that there's so many genres and styles still to this day that I'm like hearing. I still get to hear a country song, but it's bound to happen. And what I kept thinking over and over was, I thought two things over and over. One, it's like, this is a song that is very much for 14 fans and may not have that much appeal outside of the game. I could be wrong, but that's just what I felt. I felt like people that really like this are like specifically 14 players. Don't know why, it's just the feeling I got. But there's also a question I'm going to ask you guys. And please be honest, because it's okay to be honest. Did this song grow on you? Or did you fall in love with it right away? And I'm asking because I feel that if you heard this the first time, it would just kind of like, whoa, what the hell? And then as you're playing it over and over and it loops over and over, it kind of is just like, damn, this thing's catchy, what is this? Because that's kind of what happened to me. You know, as I was hearing it over and over, I'm like, okay. You know, like it's usually my first impression is the strongest one, where I'm like, okay, well, I'm already gonna tell if I'm gonna like it or not. But it kept growing on me. It kept like convincing me, like, okay, yeah, this is actually pretty good. It's not as bad as I thought. Not bad. Bad is the wrong word. It's just, you know what I'm saying? It's just not bad, not good. Just kind of neutral, kind of there. But as I kept hearing it, I was like, okay. But for the original, I would say that here's the real thing. When I think of Alexander, from what I know of this, because I just remember, as soon as I saw who Alexander was, I'm like, oh yeah, this huge summon. I don't think immediately of that sort of sound. I was thinking it was gonna be more like big orchestral, kind of just heavy, not necessarily rock, but just, you know, big sounding. And it was, but I wasn't expecting kind of like this EDM rock hybrid thing. It's I don't know if this is a hot take, but it doesn't really fit the character. Don't flame me, I don't play the game. But if you look at this character and you've never seen him in your life, I just don't see that song with it. But you know, whatever. Moving on. The Primals version was, I was kind of scared because I thought it was going to be more of the same, but just live, pretty much. But no, it kind of made me come around, I guess. It showed me, this is why I really like instruments, and you know, I'm biased towards musicianship, is because you can hear all those things. I didn't mention it at first, but there's a lot that gets buried in the original. There's a lot of, in the original, there was the vocals kind of like made everything else hard to hear. I couldn't hear the bass, I couldn't hear pretty much everything. It was just, you know, a collection of sounds. Whereas the Primals version, it was mixed very well. I could hear the bass, I could hear the vocals over here, I could hear the guitar scratching over here. So it has this nice full sound that I can kind of appreciate it more. And instead of just focusing on the vocal part, like that's up front and center. And what else did I write for that one? Oh, well, I gotta give credit where credit is due. Koji Fox is pretty talented. He's got quite a range, and also singing like that, or if you want to call it like the kind of fast rapping, whatever that is, that cadence, that's hard to do. Especially, I mean, even just at a recording studio, but just like live, running out of breath and all that, I can't do it. Like, that's pretty insane. But this one was the one where the chorus really started to shine through. And at that point, it was kind of getting a little bit stuck in my head. And this is where like the gears were turning, no pun intended, where it was like, okay, yeah, this is gonna be one of those ones where it's just really catchy, and I'm going to end up liking this down the line. You know, you guys have to remember too that a reaction video isn't the end all be all. You know what I mean? There's a lot of songs on this channel that may have not have struck me right away, but then I've heard them like on my own afterwards or something, and then I just regularly enjoy them. But a first impression is always, it's interesting, right? It's such a unique experience. You're only gonna get that one time ever in your whole life. So I could see this, just being honest, I could see this later on being one of those like, yeah, okay, it's good. So I don't want you to put these in the category of the ones that Jesse didn't like. You know, it's just, that's why I asked you guys. You know, did this grow on you, or did you fall in love with it right away? Or do a lot of people like it and then you're like, you feel obligated that you have to like it? I like to know these kind of things. I like to ask those kind of uncomfortable questions because that's what gets the truth out. And then finally, we had the Pulse remix. And I'm not going to lie, the Pulse remix stuff is very fleshed out. It seems like a love letter to 14 fans. I'm not going to say it was like the best version. It was the most fleshed out version. And kind of, I like to think of the Pulse remixes as kind of like the potential of the song that like could have been. Because I try to think of everything like during the production of the original. Maybe there was a time crunch. Maybe there was, you know what I mean? Like, especially considering the game is so massive and there's so many songs, maybe they didn't get to like put all the attention they wanted into it. So I like to think of the Pulse stuff as kind of like, well, this is where it could have gone if we didn't have deadlines or blah, 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 blah. I don't know if that's true. I'm just saying it's after the fact. It's already happened. The groundwork is there. Now we can expand on it. The sound was really good of this one. This one, sound-wise, was what I would have liked to heard in the original one. As far as the instruments and the mixing, it was really... The thing about the original is that it just sounded so chaotic, which, you know, could be intentional. But there's just a lot of... I don't know if it makes sense. Maybe now that I'm mentioning it, you'll probably see what I'm talking about. But there's not a lot of room for stuff to breathe in the original one. It was just kind of like constant noise. But whereas this one shines is where those moments are kind of now branched off into their own little individual segments, and they just sound cool. So everything stands out, kind of like the Primals version. But this one obviously is more like closer to the original with that whole like electronic thing, especially with those big synth EDM chords. To me, this sounded more, another hot take, but more fitting. It sounded more, if I look at this gigantic character, I definitely see those big chords following behind him. Maybe not an electronic song, but those just anything big. I just keep thinking of like massive, huge, because I mean, I don't know what Alexander is, but I know he's massive. I think of like a huge mountain or something. To be totally honest, I'm actually kind of glad that I could be honest and that I could, because you have to remember, I am in a very unique spot in the YouTube Final Fantasy XIV creator realm. You know, I've listened to a lot of songs from this game as an outsider who's never played it, who's only seen the only footage is these videos, and you know, just I basically know nothing every single time. But it's, I don't know, it's like, it's reassuring to have stuff that's like, imagine if everything I had sent to me were just incredible 10 out of 10 bangers. Whether you'd like to think so or not, that would get extremely boring. I know there's some die-hard fans, not even just 14, but like anything, whatever it is. If there's just so much, there's just such thing as too much of a good thing. So I kind of like that there's these songs that may not be unbelievably incredible to me, because that's what keeps it fresh. Let's think of this silly analogy. We all like pizza, right? I think everyone can agree with like pizza. If you don't like pizza, think of your favorite food. Now imagine eating it every single day. You're gonna hate pizza. No matter what, you're gonna hate pizza eventually. So, like, in order for me not to get bored of 14, I need things like this. And I know this sounds kind of odd. You know, how dare he? How is he not loving the song? It's just, when you have so many songs, there's bound to be stuff that just doesn't hit, you know, and that's okay. You can't have all perfect ones. To me, what I find like incredible is different than what you find incredible. I have to remind you guys that my videos should not be any like validation towards what you feel about this. This is just you watching some dork hear something for the first time. It shouldn't be like, well, Jesse said it, you know. I hope no one thinks like that, but it's just a friendly reminder. Anyways, cool song though. I'm gonna be honest. The original, not my cup of tea. Not bad, just not my cup of tea. Primals, excellent. Pulse Remix, excellent. Both really good. Overall, I don't think that it fits the character, but that's just because I don't know anything. But when I see that character, I don't think of an EDM, you know, A to the L to the, you know, I just don't. But that's okay. Chorus was super good and probably the best part to me. And the energy, I did like the energy too. I'll give it this. By the way, I'm not trying to like make excuses or trying to like, you know, I'm not trying to find redeeming qualities. I'm being totally honest. I'll give it this. I really love the good-spirited energy that it has. It sounds fun. It sounds really cool. I bet you anything when you're playing this and this comes on, the whole like chat is like jamming out or singing along. I can almost guarantee like during this premiere chat that's going to happen for this video, people are going to be typing A to the L, you know, or singing along to it. It's just one of those, right? So if you have fun with it and you like it, that's awesome. That's great. Don't let me decide anything. I'm just another person on the internet. But I liked it. Just not the original. Kind of weird, because that worries me. Like if I heard the original by itself, damn, yeah. If I heard the original by itself with nothing else, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people would be disappointed. But oh well, you know, I'd rather tell you exactly how it is than to lie to your guys' faces, because that does nothing for me. I don't care about clout. I don't care about, you know, likes and subscribers. I just like VGM. So I'm gonna stop talking now before I bury myself any further and get canceled in the 14 community. I really liked it though. I really liked it. It's just not the original. That's it. At the end of the day, that's it. But I appreciate it, and I still have the Mobius to go. So we'll see. Then again, also one little thing. Once I'm done with all of them, on my own time, I'm gonna listen to them in order. I think it's called like the Alexander Raid or something. Either way, I'm gonna check out all in order so I can hear it kind of like in its family, I guess. And then maybe it'll kind of like I said, this is gonna be an acquired taste. It's like wine, which, by the way, side note, wine has never tasted good to me. It's never been an acquired taste, but this one has the potential to do that. Anyways, awesome. Just not my cup of tea. First one. A big thank you to all the 14 fans that stick around and, you know, regardless of what I say about the song, still kick it with me. It's fun, and you know, it's, oh god, there's so many songs left. I can't even imagine. A big thank you to my Patreon supporters, PayPal supporters, all my Platinum members, which I'll list off now, and that is Kevin, Patrick, Shadow Maxim, Vanadel, Kalanin, Garlane, Mushamary, and Fissy. And once again, please tell me your honest thoughts. Did it grow on you? Am I crazy? Just go ahead. You know, let me know. Have at it. Until next time, dudes and dudettes, this has been Jesse in the auditorium. I will see you all later. Peace.